I'd begin by pointing out what we all know, and that is the state is in an unprecedented fiscal crisis. According to the State Controller's Office, for the 12-month period ending February 29th, the State General Fund spent $13 billion more than it received as revenue. We received $95 billion. We spent $108 billion. Worse, our borrowable reserves have been depleted to the point that there's a risk of the state defaulting on its debt obligations in the coming year. It's also rumored that the May revision may reduce the revenue estimates by another $4 billion. Proposition 49, after-school programs upon which we must spend over $500 million a year, completely outside of our control, completely outside of our discretion, and completely outside of our ability to finance. I would hold that it is simply not rational to reduce core education programs in order to fund after-school programs, but that's exactly what Proposition 49 requires. Now, this measure does not actually repeal Prop 49. It simply puts control of its budget within the legislature and the normal appropriations process.
1,000 schools to 4,000 schools with the Prop 49 money. So to just suspend that when this partnership has been created, where school attendance is going up, and discipline problems are going down, crime in the community is going down, is not logical to me. When we make a deal or a partnership with our communities and say you have long-term continuous funding, I think we need to live up to that partnership, that agreement between the legislature. And this particular agreement is embodied in a measure that was enacted by the voters. I think instead we should look at how to fund, raise revenues, restore the taxes that have been cut, the car tax being one part of that we don't collect in revenues today, restore those dollars, and we wouldn't have to consider cutting elsewhere in education, let alone in this partnership program.
I believe we have some people that want to testify on this. Would those who are in favor of this step forward?
They're all working.
I believe there was a slight pause there. Would those who would like to testify in opposition to this step forward?
They wanted to see this program enacted the way that Prop 49 was written, and we don't think it's necessary to change it at this point. Currently sets thresholds in place that are nearly impossible to meet for the money to be provided to the program. It does not simply give the legislature authority to make changes.
It's been raised that the threshold you've placed would, at least in the eyes of the opponents, would make it almost impossible or very difficult, I might say, to spend the money in Prop 49. You have the opportunity to either call for a vote this morning, or else you have the opportunity to place this bill over for a week or two and have conversations with the individuals involved and bring this back with perhaps a little less stringent guidelines. Is that all right with you?
That's fine with me. Again, my objective is to get the autopilot program back under the discretion of the legislature.
I can't predict what will happen, but I would suggest that at this present time I think there's sufficient concerns that it would be wise to work on it and to make whatever suggestions you may have a little less stringent.
Great. Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.